Team SAANEE.
What are you guys?
Team SAANEE.
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 Watch the neck, baby. Watch the neck. Today we had I would say it was a good experience, but a challenging experience with a little boy with autism, and we were really able to talk about the challenge of that and how the teacher struggled with it, as well as the SAANEE trainer struggled with the situation and trying to figure out how to serve this child best.
I think that one of the challenges that I noticed was in our exchange of dialogue with one of the school's principals today, there was a presence of almost fear when it came to intervening with a behavior that was taking place in the classroom. It was almost like, okay, we hear the strategies that you're providing to us, but what if he has a more severe behavior? What if this happens? What if this happens? And you can just tell that they were fearful that if they do try and intervene, things were going to get worse. But the positive was that we were able to encourage them and promise them that if you stay consistent, you will see really great results.
And one of the challenges I noticed is the same little boy that you mentioned with autism. He did have a behavior where he eloped from the classroom, and it got to the point where the SAANEE trainer had to contact the parent, and she seemed frustrated about the situation, having to come to the school to get him, which is totally understandable. But Marissa brought up a really good point about setting up an action plan between the SAANEE trainer, the teacher, and the parent, so they're all on the same page and who needs to do what to best meet this child's needs and to get him to stay in school as long as possible to learn.
And for me, it was the same child, good old Yako.
Did you get it right? That was good.
He was.
Good old
I think it was really good for us, even though it was challenging, because it made us kind of understand how to handle a little boy that did that. We got to the point where we said, oh, this isn't working, and stopped what we were doing because it wasn't working, and then we're able to process and think through what that might be the next step. So it was challenging, but it was also really good.
And it even helped us think back to what was happening in the classroom prior to the behavior, and thinking of strategies that we could have done to prevent this from happening, or in the future from happening.
And I think that it was good for that to happen with us present, so that we can communicate to the SAANEE team here in Peru what the thought process looks like when you're on a SPED team and you're noticing behaviors, and when you do have to backtrack and say, okay, what was the function of this? Why did he end up outside the classroom for however long that he did? And just being able to go through that process with them in real time, literally, our exact thought process. We were able to sit with this team out here and go through it with them, and it was awesome.
And I was going to say, and I think that was my high, was when we went through our whole thought process, I could actually see the light bulbs going off in their mind, going, oh, so that's what they saw. Oh, so that's how you handle it. Oh, so that's what it would look like. And they even mentioned that it would be applicable. They each have a child on their caseload that struggles with the same thing. So that light bulb was really going off, and that was a beautiful thing to see.
I think a high for me was when the principal at the last school came out and said, you are, well, she said it earlier, but she said, you and we are on the same wavelength. Our things are yours, the strategies you're sharing with us are exactly the things that we need. They fit perfectly. She kept putting her fingers together. They fit perfectly with the new philosophy that we're using and the new way that we're teaching. And then she came out at the very end and said, could you come and do a workshop for all my teachers, please?
We'd love to.
Huge high.
Yes, it was so awesome. I think just being able to communicate with all the staff members on every campus and with the team members on SAANEE, it's almost like I had to take myself out of it for a minute today and just kind of cherish the moment of the communication and the collaboration taking place, and hearing her just say that we're on the same wavelengths. And then you think about the children and how they're being blessed by that, that all these strategies are consistent, and they're so willing to put these strategies forward, and they're asking for help. They are so willing to hear about the strategies that we're using, and it's just really, it's beautiful. just to be a part of an experience like this, and I'm all with you guys.
Yeah.
And I
It's
mean,
great.
And we even learned something too.
yes, we
Yeah.
did.
With the way they created the addition problems and then
Yes.
teaching them how to spell their names. I haven't seen anyone create material like that before, so now I learned
Yeah.
something, and I can't wait to do that in our
Yeah.
class.
And I think kind of finally, like the last thing like that I was thinking about on the drive back was I didn't feel like we were two separate teams.
Yeah.
I felt like today we came together and we were one team, and it was so encouraging, and it's almost like a high. It was just a beautiful thing how God just put his hand over us and united all of us in this common goal to serve these children.
So awesome.
It
Yes.
was great.
Yeah.
Awesome
Great day. We're tired, but it was awesome.